Hi class, it's Miss Jacobson. We are going to be doing a math lesson today that has to do with telling time to the nearest 5 minutes, like we've been working on, and also the nearest minute. We're going to get a bit more practice with that today, okay? So here are the things that you're going to need. You're going to need the time task cards it'll be the time task cards E through H, which look like this. E through H. You're going to need this set. If you would prefer to use the paper version instead of the online version, I'm going to be going through them here online with you, but if you'd prefer to use the paper copies, they're right there for you, sent home in your resource packet, okay? So you can use those if you'd prefer. You're also going to need the time task card recording sheet, which looks like this, what we've been working on. Okay, we've been filling out our answers on this, right? So you have the first 4 done from yesterday. We're going to do the next 4 today, okay? So please get that out. Also, we are going to need a blank sheet of paper and a pencil with an eraser, okay? So these are the 4 things you're going to need for our math lesson today. All right. All right, I'll give you a minute to get those things together. You can always pause the video if you need to. Please feel free to pause the video at any time if you need more time to work on something or if you just need to take a break, feel free to do that, okay? All right, guys, let's get started. So I'm going to start with a quick review using the interactive time clock here. Remember, when we're telling time to the nearest 5 minutes, when we go from the long minute hand here, this is the green one, when it goes from a number to another number, so say from the 12 to the 1, that is 5 minutes, right? When it goes from the 1 to the 2, that's 5 minutes again, right? So as we hit each number, we count by fives. So we go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, and so on. We go the whole way around until we reach 60 minutes, okay? I'm going to bring it back around. So we go the whole way around until we reach 60 minutes, and at 60 minutes, the hour, if we have reached a new hour, right? All right, so that's telling time to the nearest 5 minutes, right? So if our clock looks like this, we look at where our hour hand is between. We always look at our hour hand first, so we look at where our hour hand is between. Is it between the 12 and the 1, right? It hasn't reached the 1 yet, so it has to be at the 12. So it's 12 something. We go around and we count 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. It is 12:35, right? And that's what our clock up here says. Beautiful. All right, guys. So I'm going to have you now go to your task cards, okay? And we are going to be working on the first one here. So we're going to work on task card letter E. All right, so I want you to tell me what time is on this task card, okay? So this is our shorthand, it's pointing down to the 6, and the longhand is pointing up to the 12. So please write down on this sheet in letter E right here, so write down right there, what the answer is. Okay, I'll give you a minute to work on that. Remember, you can always pause the video, okay? You can always pause the video, and I encourage you to pause it if you need time. All right, guys, let us go over it. All right, so our shorthand is pointing to the 6, the long hand is pointing, our long minute hand is pointing to the 12, and we know that if our hand is pointing at the 12, that is a whole hour, right? So we're at the hour mark. So it is 6 o'clock, right? So we're going to write that into our answer sheet just like so. We're going to go 6 o'clock. Beautiful. So it should be a 6 colon, the 2 dots, and then 0, 0. Nice job, guys. All right, let's hit up the next one. So our next one is letter F. All right, so someone, please, I want you guys all to be working on this one. So tell me what time this is. So what time is it now? Look at your hour hand, look at your minute hand. Pause the video if you'd like. All right, guys, let's talk about it. All right, so let's figure out what the answer is here. So let's look at our hour hand. our hour hand is between the 12 and the 1, right? So it hasn't reached the 1 yet, so it can't be 1 o'clock yet. So it's still 12. 12 something, but 12 what? Let's count. Ooh, I see our minute hand here is on one of the numbers, so let's count around and figure out what time it is, right? So if we go from 12 to 1, that's 5, 10, whoops, I'm sorry guys, I don't know why this keeps coming up. Okay. Oops. Okay, so it goes from 12 to 1 is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So it is 12:25. Nice job. So let's go back over here to our answer sheet here. Bring it back over. So letter F is 12:25. Beautiful. All right, we have 12:25. All right, so now we're going to move on to letter G. All right, so this is letter G. Whoops. Okay. So letter G here. So what time does it say here on letter G? What time is on that clock? Give you a minute to work on it. All right, guys, let's go over it. So our hour hand is between the 4 and the 5, but it hasn't reached the 5 yet. So it has to be 4 something. So we know, if you can't tell right off the bat, but if you do know right off the bat, when the minute hand is pointing at the 6, we either can count by 5s, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So we either know straight away, oh, this pointing to the 6, it's 30 something, right? So we know that, or we can just count by 5s. So it is 4:30 on this one, okay? Nice job. So let's write that into our answer sheet here. 4:30. Beautiful. All right, now we're on letter H, guys. Our last time card for 5 minutes. All right, it's our last 5-minute card. All right, now we're going to move on to the minute. All right, so time card H. What time is it on this clock? Go ahead and put it on your answer sheet. All right, guys, let's go over it. All right, so our hour hand is between the 2 and the 3, right? So if it's between the 2 and the 3, it hasn't reached the 3 yet, so it can't be 3. It's 2 something. Let's figure out, where is our minute hand pointing to? Whoa, it's pretty far around the clock, right? So we got to count. So let's count by 5s here. We can go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. So it is 2:40. Nice. So we're going to put that into our answer sheet here. It is 2:40. And this is what your answer sheet should look like, right? So we have 6 o'clock, 12:25, 4:30, and 2:40. Nice job, guys. All right, so we're going to switch over now to the minutes, right? So telling time to the nearest minute. All right, so I am going to give you a quick overview of that, and then we will practice with some time cards, okay? With some task cards. All right, so our first step here is going to be telling time to the nearest minute. So when we move around the clock, all these little ticks, you see these little ticks around the outside? All these little ticks represent 1 minute, right? So from the 12 to the 1 is 5 minutes. In between the 12 and the 1, there are 4 little ticks, right? And those ticks each represent 1 minute, okay? So if we move our clock here, 12:01, 12:02, 12:03, 12:04, 12:05, right? So each of those ticks represents 1 minute. So that's how we tell time to the nearest minute, right? Because we know what time it is at the number. So if we come here, we know this is 15, right? We know this is the 15. So if we move 3 past it, 15, 16, 17, 18. So this time would be 12:18. All right? So our minute hand is going to point exactly at the tick that the time tells, right? So we're going to be pointing exactly to where we want to tell the time. All right? So I'm going to give you guys some times here. I'm going to have this clock on the screen, and I am going to move the clock around, okay? So when I move the clock around, I then want you to tell me what time it is by writing it down on your blank sheet of paper, okay? So write it down on your blank piece of paper what time it is, just like we were doing with our answer recording sheet for the 5-minute one, okay? So we're going to move around, and I want you to tell me what time it is right here. All right, tell me what time it is right here. All right, I'll give you a minute to do that. Remember, look at your hour hand. What's it between? Then look at your minute hand. Where's the minute hand pointing to? All right, guys, let's go over it. All right, so our hour hand is pointing between the 2 and the 3, right? So our hour hand's pointing between the 2 and the 3. That means that it's not yet 3 o'clock. It has to be 2 something. So we know it's 2 something. So let's count around and figure out where our minute hand is at. Our minute hand is the whole way over here. So we have some counting to do. I'm going to count by 5 minutes, okay? Just to help you guys get that practice in. All right, but if you know what this is, you can start from the 30, right? If you can start at the 6, or if you want to start at the 9, you can start at the 45. But I'm going to go around and count by 5s, okay? So we have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Okay, so the 10's 50, but the minute hand's pointing at the first tick past the 50. So 50 plus 1 minute is 51 minutes. Okay, so our time is going to be 2:51. Let's see if we're right here. Let's see if we're right. Boom, we're right, guys. It's 2:51. How cool is that? All right, so let's try another one together. All right, I'm going to move the clock round and round and round she goes. And stop. All right, so I want you to tell me what time it is here. So where's the hour hand? Where is the minute hand? Remember, you can always pause the video. All right, guys. So our hour hand is pointing a little past the 7. So it's 7, it's definitely 7 something, right? And we know our minute hand here, if we go from the 12 to the 1, that's 5 minutes, right? Because there's 4 ticks in between, 12 to 1, 5 minutes. But our minute hand isn't at the 1 or the 2, it's between them, right? So we need to count up each little tick, right? So if this is 5 minutes, then we need to go 5, 6, 7, right? So our minute hand is pointing at the 7 minutes, right? So it is 7:07. Let's check out and see if we're right. And we are. It is 7:07. Nice job, guys. Alrighty. Let us try another one together. Oop, hang on, I'm going to pause the clock here. That way you can't see it. All right, I'm going to try another one together. Round and round and round. And stop. All right, I want you guys to try this one by yourselves, okay? Remember, please pause the video if you need more time. I'm going through them pretty fast because we only have a 15-minute video segment, okay? So if I need to, so I can't extend it any longer than 15 minutes, but you guys can always pause the video and take more time, okay? All right, guys, let's go over this one. All right, so where is our hour hand pointing? Well, our hour hand is between the 9 and the 10, right? So our hour hand is between the 9 and the 10, which means it hasn't reached the 10 yet. It's still 9 something, okay? So let's look at our minute hand. Where's our minute hand pointing? Okay, it's between the 7 and the 8. So let's count around by 5s again, okay? So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Okay, so it's not the 40 yet. So 35, then let's count up each individual tick. So 35, 36, 37, 38. So it should be 9:38. Let's check and see if we're right. And we are. It is 9:38. All right, guys. That is all the time that we have today. All right, you guys did a great job. Thank you so much for watching these videos and for doing your work along with me. I am super excited about teaching you guys, and I love being able to continue to do this even though we can't be together in person.